soil of the earth Midwesterner.
You kind of do, yeah.
With my Iron Maiden hat, too.
Yeah, let's see that hat. Pops. Look at that.
Yeah. How do you like that,
You still
kids?
can't see it, dude. What are you hiding under there?
I'm hiding my lack of hair.
Your lack of self-worth.
Yeah, my low T.
Your low T and low self-esteem.
Actually, my T is very high. I've got a bunch of T.
Did you get it measured?
Mm-hmm.
No, you didn't.
Seven T's.
We already talked about your hair and your T's last time, bro. No one needs to hear about...
I thought it could be like a reoccurring bit.
Your hair?
Yeah.
Your hairiness and manliness?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you need a little... need some therapy rather than comical relief.
Isn't that what this is? This is cheaper than therapy.
This is some cheap therapy, and you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Which is
nothing.
pretty much I just hurt you more.
Right.
I make you more damaged
you
mentally.
just caused me more mental anguish. Huh.
I have to tell
Kind of rethinking
Ashley.
this.
Ashley's coming over, and I have to tell her that I'm going live. Because last time she walked up and she felt embarrassed that she walked in on the live stream. And I was like, what do you mean? It's not... To who? No one's watching.
Yeah.
No one's watching.
To the one guy who accidentally clicked on it.
Yeah, no, cause she's the only viewer. She's the only subscriber.
She's the only viewer.
So I don't know who she's worried about.
That's funny.
And on top of that, she's like, what if this turns into something, or what if this is a thing? And I'm just...
Well, I mean, that's the fear with the internet all the time, is that it's going to capture you saying something stupid. You're going to wake up the next day and literally, like, the entire country or world or internet has blown it out.
That's not what she's worried about.
Portion. That's not what she's worried about.
She's worried about, like, attention from women.
She doesn't want attention from women?
I don't know if she's figured it out.
There's no women on here.
There's no women on Twitch.
That's insane.
And if they are, they're taking money from guys.
Right.
There's no...
They're
yeah, you're worried about
them.
all my subscribers on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, after being worried about that, she goes, by the way, you should wear a different outfit. So you know what I did today? I wore the same hoodie
there you go.
as all the other ones. So I need to make sure this is all working. I think it is all working. Rabbit Sex is the title of this one so far.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure why.
Well, you're going to find out.
Okay.
You're going to find out here in a little bit. Because Uncle Spen has something to show you.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
And boy, do I have something to show you.
Pull up turtle sex. I'm like, I told you to come prepared with a story, not turtle porn.
I made this face when I said it, too. Pull it up, dude.
Pull it up, dude.
Pull it up. See what it's like. Well, I do have a story as well. I just wanted to bring some affable, some gaffes, some goofs, some silliness.
Hopefully we can get Austin on here, because he's probably, knowing him, he's probably at PDX Sliders. He's very addicted, but there's something I wanted him to talk to you about.
Oh yeah,
and maybe I'll take a break from the stream that I am hosting. I guess it counts as a host. But the other person's just as hosty as I am, so whatever. Let's not think about that too hard. Let's go back to turtle sex.
Well, yeah, so you know the story of the tortoise and the hare?
Is that what this is about?
Are you familiar? Yeah,
I'm trying
to make this into a learning parable. You can learn. You can learn from.
See where you're going with this.
Right, you know the story of the tortoise and the hare?
Yes, I know the story of the tortoise and the hare.
All right, so the hare, he tries to do it. He runs out of energy. He runs out of steam. Okay, the tortoise, slow and steady, boom. He wins the race, all right? And so now we're going to watch both of these animals fuck. Okay.
Do we need the sound?
Oh, we need the sound.
Shit.
The sound is imperative.
I'll do my best. Fuck, that's loud. I don't know if the sound's coming through. I can test it in a second here. That's loud. Oh, it totally is. Uh-oh. This is looking a little rapey. Is he busting right there?
Dude, he is. That's like that's like a per stroke. Per
Every
stroke.
stroke. Are you sure that's every stroke?
Or he might be busting out.
See, this is just the reality of sex. If girls weren't acting, if girls weren't acting, it would be like this right here.
Yeah.
Says
just waiting it
naughty
out.
things over text. In reality,
this face. Look at this like weird mouth vagina, dude.
Mouth vagina.
Look.
Whoa!
Look.
What? What is that?
Yeah. What the fuck is that? Is that his throat? Ugh.
This is weird. Why are they doing a zoom like this?
Because, man, this is nature. This is the nitty gritty. Oh, final nut. Oh, you got it.
What the? That's a whole minute and a half right there.
Yep.
So that's the tortoise.
Yeah. So see, as you can see, he's very slow and deliberate. You know, I'm trying to make this into something educational.
He's not giving up.
No, he's not
just
giving
slow
up.
and steady.
Right, that pace.
That
you know,
pace he said at the beginning.
Pace.
That's a decent pace, and I'm already seeing this is a 6
second
video. Oh wow! Oh
Boom.
my god!
Boom. 6 seconds. How many strokes do you think he got in those 6 seconds, Garrett?
More than I can stroke.
Easily. More than I have
I
stroked.
I counted 200.
One of the I want to say like 45.
Dude, did he have an aneurysm and die from that nut?
Dude, he just had the greatest nut of all time.
That is some magical shit right there. Is he really even in the hole? He even enters quick. He mounts and then boom! He doesn't need to feel for no hole.
And same with...
Oh, his legs almost like break. His leg... What the... Does he hold on? Does he go...
Yeah, he just like... He does one final...
Oh, he's holding on.
He does one final
He's trying to keep that nut in there.
Uh-huh.
To keep that nut in there.
Trying to get it just all up in. And same with the lady rabbit. Very bored and unimpressed.
Yeah, not into it. Not into it at all.
Just kind of, oh God, I guess this has to happen.
Which shows you how the heterosexual patriarchy has brainwashed women into pretending they like sex.
Preach.
That's fucked up.
Preach, brother.
Women don't like to have sex, okay?
No, they don't.
Clearly.
They all hate it.
Look at nature.
They're not sexual beings. You know when women say like, oh, I'm dirty. No, you're not.
You're just trying to pretend you're dirty.
You're just pretending.
Think about...
It's like that Louis C.K. bit. I'm fucking trapped here. I'm trapped on the island of sexual depravity. You know? We're all trapped. Men, in general, we're all trapped on the island. Women can go there for a visit. They go there for a little day trip. Oh, ooh, there's some chains. And ooh, there's a ball gag. But I'm going to go back. No, but we're trapped. We go into the library. We see the old librarian. And we're like, oh, I wonder what her titties look like. No! You know, it's just like it pops in your head. You're just like, fuck, stop. Just trying to... I just wanted to buy, get a book from the library.
I was thinking about it, and guys will be like, I think guys and girls are a lot more similar than people would think. The reason why I say that is like, guys are like, oh, if I had a vagina for a day, I just fucking masturbate all the time.
Just pound it.
Yeah.
Just get
that
pounded,
sounded really
dude.
fucking gay really quick. It's totally cool, but...
Yeah, it's totally cool. If I had a vagina for the day, I would just let all the dudes just smash, dude. I would just, like, line them up,
Oh,
dude.
yeah, bro?
Like,
Yeah,
dude. It's not gay.
Well, believe it or not, you have a vagina. No.
Oh, my God.
A butt-gina. But my point was... That was not my point. My point is, I know girls who treat their vagina like a guy would treat their vagina. If not much worse. Maybe guys would have a little more dignity with their hole than girls would, but I'm telling you.
I don't know if anyone's got dignity when it comes to their hole. Once it's a hole, it's a hole, it's a hole, you know?
That's the heterosexual patriarchy getting to you again.
Dude, I've been gotten by the heterosexual patriarchy. I'm fucked. I can't be ungotten by it.
You think so?
I'm too deep in, you know? Like I was telling you about this. Where should I save this for later?
I don't know. Maybe we should, just to try to get Austin on here.
Yeah, that's cool.
He'll be coming up the stairs in 3, 2. Dude, you're going way too fucking fast.
Yeah, turtle style.
1. And he's coming upstairs. He's not here. He's not. You'd probably hear him through this mic too, just like you hear my breathing and my sipping. So you came with turtle sex.
Yeah, came with turtle and rabbit sex.
You're kind of like a retarded philosopher.
Yeah,
you're just so profound and you don't even realize it.
Mm-hmm. No, I realize it. I'm like a normal philosopher. Okay, I'm like a normal smart philosopher.
All philosophers
philosopher
are like 50% retarded, 50% genius.
Yeah, they're autistic. I would say, yeah.
You know what my conspiracy theory is?
What?
Autism and ADHD and those mental handicaps are actually good for you. They're not handicaps at all. They're actually what's the opposite of an ailment? A
benefit?
Well, yeah, a benefit, but there's some
advantage.
Term for it. An advantage. Thank you. I can't like English. Yeah.
Struggling there.
Yeah, because think about ADHD and how, I mean, that wasn't even a thing until fucking 30 years ago. Right. And then they started giving people, for some reason they decided meth was the right thing to give people for that. They probably just made up some stupid illness that they could cure with meth because they know meth is a good drug. That'll keep you focused. That's for damn sure.
It's kind of like a little bit of the hair of the dog mentality there. You know? Oh, you're hyperactive and you're bouncing off the walls. Why don't you have a little bit of amphetamines to calm you down?
Dude, it's the most backwards thing ever. It makes no fucking sense. Some people will be like, oh, it works for some people. It doesn't work for other people. No. You give someone meth or any kind of amphetamine, they're going to be off the fucking wall. Just like all the kids with ADHD that I know.
Yeah.
Who are on Ritalin and shit. They were off the fucking wall. People will be like, they didn't take their meds. No, when they don't take their meds, they get sick.
Right. They get all sad and depressed and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, so ADHD is an advantage because you are able to focus on a bunch of different tasks. Is that what you're saying? Like,
yes,
you're able to get a lot of shit done, have a lot of energy.
And things that have more psychological, input coming into your brain keeps you there for longer, like video games.
Yeah.
There's always a new thing being flashed in front of your head. There's explosions. There's killing. There's all
you're doing stuff with your fingers. It's like a lot of stimulation.
Yeah, and the reason why that it gets diagnosed as ADHD or something like that is because these young men or women, but I think young men have it more than women, but whatever, that they should be out, killing things maybe, like hunting like we used to do back in the day, or doing some sort of hard work that made them get rid of that energy.
Right.
Rather than having it all bottled up and sitting in class off not enough sleep because you played video games all night.
Yeah.
And then you want to pass out and you don't pay attention, or you can't pay attention because you're so tired. And that shit's not interesting because you would normally at that age be running around the forest killing rodents or something. I don't know.
No, that's a really good point. I think you're right. I think that stuff is particularly disadvantaged for classroom settings. You know what I mean? Like, the only time that shit really becomes a big disadvantage, like, oh, we need to treat little Johnny here, is when it's in a classroom setting. He can't sit and focus and read this thing for half an hour and stay quiet. Well, maybe that's not exactly what little Johnny here is supposed to be doing. Maybe that's not what he's best geared for. Maybe he's supposed to be running out and running long distances and fixing shit and know what I mean? Yeah, competing.
Young men like to compete, and I think that gets destroyed with school a lot of the time. But things like sports and
there's sports
like
in
that
school.
stuff. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there's definitely places for kids to be competitive.
Sure.
But usually, young boys. Oh, did I hear in Austin?
It sounded like a baby lamb.
Oh, was it Sophie? Oh, she probably hears us up here.
Oh,
she probably closed the door. hang out with me. No, I really don't want to right now. I'm sorry. What were we talking about? Already lost.
We're talking about ADHD and autism and how they're actually...
No, I know. Right before we talked about the fucking dog.
Oh,
I get lost that quick. So I have ADHD, dude.
You know, I think we all have it to a degree with all the fucking shit we see every day.
This is true. I was going to say I'm lucky I had music.
Yeah.
And drums. Mm-hmm. Because without that, I'd probably be... And sports. So I had an outlet for that.
Yeah.
Personally.
And video games, too. I feel like video games, to a degree, are good.
Absolutely. And it depends what video games, because some video games have absolutely no intellectual value to them. And then other ones, like I personally think like the turn-based strategy games where you have to manage like a community or build a town, that can be very valuable.
Yeah.
Helped me get into like understanding how businesses work. And it's so funny because I play the dumbest games in my spare time. Like, I don't play video games, but when I do, I just play some dumb casual game.
I don't normally smoke weed, but when I do, it's fucking schwap.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's terrible. You should look into that.
Well, that's like what you're saying with video games.
Pretty much. But that's the thing is, to me, it's not trash. It's like very stimulating. Like, I'm really into it.
What games?
Monopoly Tycoon.
Monopoly Tycoon. I'm trying to... So is it like a board game? It's like laid out?
Monopoly Tycoon is?
I don't know what this shit is.
Dude, I did not want to talk about this, but it is a really good game. And I played it when I was like a little kid, so it kind of gives me like nostalgia. But then I started playing it and I was like, fuck, this is actually a really fun game. So you like create your little character or whatever, and God damn it, okay, let's go here. I just want you to see the actual game. It's funny.
This is the action right here.
Yeah. So you like are set up on like a board. It's kind of like a board game, and you play against different. And here it's just a solo, but you get to play against 5 other members, and they build in the city, and it's the person like you'll have make 6,000 sales a day,
right?
And they'll have goals like that.
Yeah.
But it's such terrible graphics here. Let's get to the city.
It's pretty bare bones.
It's so funny.
When was this made?
Here we go. It's like this, dude. Dude, it was like...
It was like 2003?
Dude, 2002 or something, maybe.
Wow.
It says requirements like Windows 98 on the jewel box for the CD.
Yeah.
Whatever they call it. I don't even know. I don't even use CDs. I don't even have an optical drive in my computer. Somehow I can play this. But I love basic bitch games like that. And there's a lot of new games that are similar to it, but this kind of gives me that nostalgia, fucking thing going.
I mean, it's basic, but it also seems like you could legitimately learn some shit from this game.
Well, yeah, so you can you look through the percentages of what's been sold, how much is being sold for. You can adjust all this stuff. You can build different businesses on this block depending on what the people in the apartment want. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of like...
You could be a skeevy landlord.
Yes, you could be like a skeevy low-income landlord that sells, videotapes and has a nightclub. Right. It's hilarious.
Has a little seedy movie theater.
I named my character Trump, and there's so obviously a Trump character in the game that I was like, fuck it, it just works out too well. I think his name's Wheelbarrow, so I just turned it to Trump.
Wheelbarrows.
Just for kicks.
Nice. Just for kicks and gigs?
Yeah.
What's been going on with the man, with the big T man?
T-Rump.
T-Rump.
He's trying to get that wall built, and the Democrats are holding out hardcore because it's basically like, I mean, it's going to come down to, if he doesn't get his wall,
his reelection.
That's such a win for the Democrats.
Right.
So he refuses to do it, and he promised the wall, and he wants to do good on his promises.
Right. It's major election promise.
Yeah. So
interesting.
That is causing problems with the government shutdown for it's going to be like a month here soon.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, the longest shutdown, and I don't know the repercussions, and it hasn't affected me, but I know there are people who are affected. I just don't. I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah.
And I really don't want to talk about politics at all.
No?
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to spout about politics?
Not about Trump.
Okay.
Not about Trump. We could talk about Flat Earth, though.
I don't want to talk about flat Earth. That's just going to be you, spewing some shit at me.
And just destroying you in a debate.
I'm not even going to debate you about
just
it.
Just dominating you.
No.
Round Earther.
There's going to be no debate. Hey, don't put me in with those roundies, all right?
Oh.
Don't put me in with those.
Are you coming out right now?
No, I'm not coming out. I'm not coming out as a flat earther because...
Are you agnostic to the Earth being
I'm
round?
agnostic to the Earth, to the shape of the Earth, yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I'm uncaring as far as the shape goes.
I only care what's within 10 feet of me at all times.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know shit about it, so...
Exactly. It's a good way to be.
Don't ask me.
It's a simple way to live.
Yep.
Simple Jack.
You know who just caught a case?
No, who?
Your boy, Neil deGrasse.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. I could tell he was a Cosby-looking motherfucker from the second I saw him.
Is that because he's black, Garrett?
No. It's because he looks like a creeper. You can tell.
Yeah, I don't know. He's always kind of pissed me off with being really, really smug.
Smug bastard.
Very, very smug. There's times where he's entertained me, And,
oh, sure, me too. I used to love him. I used to be his biggest fan.
Yeah.
Fucking buying his books and all that stuff. And then I saw him on the Joe Rogan podcast, and I wanted him to... I was like anti-flat Earth, and I wanted him to get him. And I was listening to him, and I'm like, you don't really sound like you know what you're talking about. Because every single argument that he proposed was a fallacy. So I'm like, all right, I got to be honest. So that's what actually spurred me looking all that shit up and figuring out the arguments on both sides, just so I can play devil's advocate for fun.
Yeah.
But also because there is an argument to be had, because it's basically like, the reason why it ticks me off is that people go around and their excuse for what they believe is like, oh, well, scientists say, well, that's actually not proof.
Right.
Like, you need to see the proof yourself. And be able to prove it yourself. You can't just say scientists say, because that's not an argument. So
it's a theory.
That's what beefed me into just being like, I'm just going to figure out the arguments for both, and then as an intellectual exercise, have fun with it.
Really?
People take it way too personal.
Yeah,
and it's funny when people take something personal, it's like, why are you holding on to these beliefs? What's the point of that? Like, it's like
Well, that's why
means so much to you.
That's why I like the whole debate. Is because it does have this kind of fun intellectual, you kind of see someone's true colors when you bring up something like that. You see how truly open-minded they are,
Yeah.
I mean, to an extent, like, you bring up something like flat Earth to somebody and they get angry, then it's pretty clear that they're still probably a good person or whatever, but they're definitely not willing to consider certain things. Like, there's certain things you just cannot question in their worldview, and if you take those things away, they start to get emotional. And so I think in that way it's a good debate. I just my head starts to spin when you start getting into the math about everything and the implications as far as like mathematically the whole flat Earth has, because it implies that there's just this whole like made up system, like trigonometry is all bullshit once you get
No, that actually
to
proves the flat Earth.
It does prove flat Earth. Like, that's what I'm confused about, you know, because
well,
it seems like it's so easy to twist.
No one's saying trigonometry doesn't exist and isn't a thing. They're saying stuff like the theory of gravity has been changed around multiple times. Einstein's theory is different,
Yeah.
And so it was actually the opposite. They were saying gravity is an outward force. He said it's an inward force. And so they had to change all the math to make it make sense.
Right.
So that's when it goes into theoretical stuff.
Yeah.
People don't know when to draw the line between those two, where it's like, and that's the thing is, I'm not a physicist.
Sure.
So I can't make those arguments on either side, really. But I don't think you need to be a physicist to come to those conclusions. And the math and all that stuff, you go into a mathematician forum and they've debated this. Like, how far can you really see on Earth, given the curvature?
Sure.
And they go super deep into that, and it'll be like a forum from like 2001 where it's just text, It's just the name and text. Mm-hmm. And they're like have all these formulas, and they're like debating each other. And one time I was like, I'm just gonna read this for a bit, and my head was spinning.
Yeah.
Like like a globe Earth. So yeah, that gets complicated real quick, but I don't think it needs to be that complicated. It can be pretty straightforward, but
yeah,
we don't have to get into that because people just get mad.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't understand.
Fuck either way.
Yeah, I don't understand getting mad about it. I understand not believing it or wanting to debate it or whatever, but I've seen people, like really get emotional about it. I don't personally. I don't get that part.
Yeah,
but it's whatever.
You got a story you want to tell me, or are we just gonna go into that other thing that we're gonna wait for Austin about? Because I have more questions about that.
Yeah, I got a story. Let's see. Once upon a time, when Spenny was 17.
Was that Austin?
Austin!
Damn, dude, that dog is screaming, man. What's up?
Yeah, it sounded like a person. I was about 16, and I was dating this super hot, out of my league fellow. She was like 15 or something at the time. And I was 16. I was fucking horny as shit all the time, and she was a little bit, I know it's a cliche thing to say, but she was a little bit of a tease, like things
a lot of dry humping.
Yeah, shit would escalate to a point and be like, no, I can't. And I would be respectful, but then later I'd be like, well, why though? Because it's gonna be good,
Try to like finger her puss through like.
Yeah, I'm trying to do all the things, and she would just have this like hard and fast line. I was like, this shit, like, because I can tell you want to. And she would, like, bite me and shit. Like, name? She had this, like, restraint. His name was, her name. You almost got me there. Almost tripped up.
Was it, like Brienne or something? Like
Morgan was her name.
That can be a guy name, too.
It can be, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, all these questionable girls, they have guy names, too. So,
yeah. Morgan. Yeah, but Morgan's an effeminate dude, though.
No.
Morgan is an effeminate.
Morgan Freeman.
All right, that's one exception. There's exceptions to rules, I've met Morgans in real life.
Go on with your thing.
Yeah, let me tell my story.
I apologize.
Really? So she was always talking about like how she got called a slut when she was like 8 or something by a soccer mom. Because of
sucking some little dude's cock behind the bleachers?
Maybe. She didn't really give me the reasons. I'm sure there was something, and that stuck with her. So she didn't want to do anything. She just didn't. Mostly everything she wanted was just to not be considered a slut. And I was like, but it sounds like you still want to do things. I just don't think that's like a very good reason to like, not do something that you want to in life because you're afraid of what other people are going to think, And I tried to explain that to her, et cetera, et cetera. Didn't really get any progress.
Secrets.
Right. It's called keeping secrets. You can keep I don't know. She didn't want to hear any of it. So she started bargaining with me basically and was like, all right, I will take off my shirt and like let you play with my titties if I can shave your leg.
Shave your leg?
Yeah.
What is she?
She wanted to shave my leg.
This girl is into some weird shit.
Dude, I was in 15, yeah. I was 16. I was like, let me think for 2 seconds. Yes, fine, sure.
Shave leg? Boom.
Boom, done. You can do it. And so it was like when my parents were out of town or some shit.
Classic.
And we got into their bathtub because they have the big bathtub, and I just kind of had my leg over the edge, and then she just like lathered it up, and it was like my calf. It wasn't my full leg. It was like she was into the calf. Like she was like fetishizing calves, is now what I see it to be. And she shaved it up. Smooth as
nice calves,
an egg.
Dude.
Oh, thanks, man.
Pretty muscly calf.
I'd like to think they're pretty.
Even fat people have muscly calves.
It's true. They got to
hold that up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, fat people have giant calves. You're like, damn, it's like
ripped.
Yeah,
it's like a marathon runner's calf.
Mm-hmm. And thick ankles. But anyway, yeah. So that happened, and then after that, I got to like, play play with some glorious titties. So I think it was completely worth it. But then she snatched them away from me, you know.
That was enough titty for you.
Yeah, it was totally like that. She snatched them away, and then we went and got ice cream, and I was just kind of like quiet on the ride. I was like, am I going to have to fucking do this every time I want to like get to this next level with her? I'm going to have to fucking shave myself or some shit. I'm going to have to do some weird shit, you know.
You never know. That's a slippery slope.
Yeah, so I broke up with her that day.
Wow, that's the move. That was the move to make.
Yeah. So
that was the move to make.
I dumped her, and she could not believe it. And I was like, but don't you understand? She's like, I let you see my boobs, and you dumped me on the same day. I was like, you fucking made me shave my like, this is not going to work.
That's some weird abuse. Think about a girl doing that nowadays. Like,
it wouldn't work.
No.
It wouldn't work with a grown man, first of all.
Yes, it would. These desperate bastards out here.
Oh, fuck. You're right.
Yeah.
I wish you were wrong. But yeah, you're right. But it wouldn't work with me as a grown man.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Because you've been mentally abused like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
That weird transactional sex. She was already at that age basically a prostitute.
Yeah.
A hair shaving prostitute.
Yeah.
A 15-year-old hair shaving prostitute.
And it was all to avoid the weird shame of like that she perceived that she would have if
just giving it away for free.
I guess, yeah. You're right.
See, I'm glad you brought this up. Right. This is very reflective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very telling of you know, because this was like 10 years ago, so our culture has gone in a lot of directions since then. But you could kind of say this is like the foretelling event to happen, you know, where it's like
that girl's selling pussy now for sure. She's selling pussy.
Well, she's in like Doctors Without Borders, so she's internationally selling pussy. She's going to all these sorts of places, you know, and she's helping people, so that's great. And that's what her Facebook says at the very least, you know.
Yeah, strippers say a lot of weird things.
Yeah, maybe it's like Strippers Without Borders.
Yeah, what is that about girls like wanting to like dress dudes that put makeup on them, shave them? Like, what kind of weird subconscious shit is that?
I don't know.
They want you to be just embarrassed as they are with themselves.
Yeah, it's like it's definitely emasculating, but why do they want to emasculate you? Like, why do they want to bring you to
their level? That's what they always are trying to do. They're always trying to pussy dudes up. It's just in their nature.
It's so true.
Because then you can't run away.
Right.
Because if you can't get a girlfriend, then they have a boyfriend for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, would you say in most cases when that happens, is the girl then likely to go go exploring for some more dick in the dick ocean out there?
Yes. Once they penguin the guy up, then
explain that term.
Well,
penguin.
It's from the Gospel of Patrice O'Neill, a.k.a. The Black Phillip Show, which you need to go watch right now if you have not seen that yet, because it is absolutely amazing.
It's fantastic.
It's a black belt in relationships, or
it
just
is.
Women in general.
It'll shock you if you haven't heard it before.
Shocking.
But
basically, the sharks, so like girls, like let's say a hot girl, they'll sometimes play with their food, which is like soy boys, you know, like some penguins. They play with their food. And then they realize that's not what they want, so they go back looking for a shark again.
What are the girls?
Girls are sharks.
There are also sharks.
Yeah. I mean, they could be like dolphins, maybe.
I see what you're saying.
But
killer whales.
They could be killer whales. Or we could be killer whales because we're bigger. But whatever. That just muddies the waters here.
Okay.
And so, yeah, they try and make you a penguin, and then they leave you.
Huh. Yeah, because
you're pussy now.
Right. And the thing that they were attracted to initially, the reason why they got with you, they managed to eradicate that and turn you into a little bitch boy, little errand boy. And now they're like, I don't know why, but he's just not doing it for me anymore.
Yeah, well, if they can break you down, then imagine what someone else can do. You're not very much a good leader.
Right. Yeah.
If even they can bring you down. But
So they're testing you.
They're testing
you at all times.
It's a lot of testing going on.
Huh.
That's for damn true. I feel like there are huge groups of girls who don't want to participate in that. But that doesn't mean they're still not operating under the same principles.
Right. You're saying it goes deeper than maybe conscious thought?
Yes. And what I guess I mean by that is like every girl I know who is like an epic slut is a lesbian now. And has been not a lesbian in that same time of being a lesbian. Every big slut I know. Every big slut I know.
Okay.
Every dirty bitch.
I've got a few in my mind.
Which isn't a bad thing. Which isn't a bad thing.
No. We love sluts.
Yeah.
I love.
They're great. They're great people.
Fantastic.
It's like charity work. I love charities.
It's necessary.
I love charities.
Yeah. They're relieving a lot of societal pressure, a lot of buildup.
There'd be a lot more school shooters if there weren't sluts.
Dude, it's so true.
Yeah, just want to get that clear. But they're lesbians now, including Blaine's sister, who I had on a couple shows ago. Not just shit on Blaine and his sister and his lesbian sister, but
you had his sister on, or Blaine?
No, I had Blaine on. I don't even know his sister. That's weird.
I don't know.
Yeah, I had his weird.
That's what you made it sound like. Yeah, I had Blaine's sister on a few episodes ago.
No, but she. It's funny because she was always known to take a ton of dick, so she then became a dick. Got married to a lesbian. Broke up with the lesbian, and guess where she went when they broke up?
I can't imagine.
To some guy she was fucking before his house. What a surprise! Which I don't have a problem with any of this. It's just a weird. I do see it a lot. It's like a trend of real dirty girls becoming lesbians,
right?
Which they probably run out of guys to date, and they realize how much cunts dudes are. So then they're like, maybe girls are better at this whole relationship thing, which they probably are.
Dude, I don't know. Girl on girl relationship, from what I've seen, they
lesbian
can be...
bed death. Have you heard of that?
Lesbian bed death?
Bed death, yeah.
No.
There's only so much you can do with two vaginas. Because think about it, they're both. That's two no's. Sure. That's two. I don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure.
Two stop signs. That's what Austin says.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing like really propelling the whole sex act forward.
No, that's what guys are always trying to do, no matter what.
Right. Huh.
Yeah, but it's a mixed bag. Let's put it that way.
It's a mixed bag. There's everything in every permutation out there. But that is a really interesting. Oh God, that was right in my ear, dude.
All right, sorry.
Terrible.
Are you hungry at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm getting a little hungry. Might have to go to Sliders.
Oh shit.
Or get something else. Maybe get some wieners down the road there.
Wieners.
I guess there is one more thing we need to talk about. We haven't yet, but Austin is not showing up. So
well, if Austin doesn't show up, let's just talk about it.
Let's talk about it. I'm kind of curious.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's kind of on subject with this whole lesbian thing.
That is right. I've been trying to lead you down that road 3 times now.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you really just gotta shove my face in it. So.
In the lesbian talks? All right.
But
rub your nose in it.
Yeah, just like shit. So you're just like
no, you were like randomly. You were like, yeah. So my sister came out to me, and to me that's no mystery. I thought that had already happened a long time ago. And no offense to people who haven't come out yet. Trust me, your parents know.
Yeah.
Trust me, and it's totally cool.
Everyone knows already, It's fine. No one cares. People are still friends with you.
Like, if you came out, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess, yeah.
You can see it a little bit.
I guess I can see that. But
same with you. I'd be like, huh.
No, me
not that surprising.
Pretty obvious.
Yeah, or not surprising.
Yeah.
Well, what do you... Okay. Look,
what were we saying, though, before we go down the I'm gay road?
We would make a great gay couple.
We would make a beautiful gay couple. Right. We'd have beautiful children.
We'd be a power couple. All right. But that's for a different podcast.
We could jizz in the same cup and then implant
mix it around.
Turkey baste it.
Into like the tallest... I want like tall Aryan, like behemoth of a woman.
Why do you like Why do you like tall bitches?
Because we're not fucking her. We want her for the giant, tall alpha children.
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah, that makes more sense.
You gotta think like a gay guy, Garrett. Come on.
Oh man.
So yeah, the other day, like last week, my sister came out of the closet to my parents. She did to me.
I wouldn't say came
that.
out of the closet. I'd say peeked. I'd say took a step.
Peeked out of the closet?
Took a leg out of the closet or something.
Yeah. I don't really know what this is. So she came out as non-binary.
Non-binary.
Mm-hmm.
To put it into perspective, I don't think anyone knows what that really means.
Yeah, well, my parents had to go look it up. I had to, like, get a bunch of clarifying questions from her, which she was like, this is really, like, you know, you could be going about this in a much more sensitive way. And I was like, I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just trying to, like, figure out what you're telling me. I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, so from what I understand, the you know, genders, I guess, exist on a binary spectrum where it's like you got your woman over here, you got your man over here.
You're heterosexual binary.
Heterosexual.
You're a girl who wants to suck dick, or you're a dude who's trying to bang some puss.
Right, but then there's a spectrum in between, all right, supposedly, or whatever, and that, I can wrap my head
Whatever you want to do, yeah.
But then there's people who are just not even on that spectrum at all. They're just, boop, they're up here.
But so
they're floating around up here. Mm-hmm.
You asked her, like, well, you're not lesbian then, right? Like, what did you, like, clarify?
Yeah, I clarified.
Because that does need clarification.
Yeah, because I was like, so are you a lesbian? Because, I mean, that's kind of the word on the street, you know? Everyone is kind of just preparing themselves for that, and that's totally cool if you are, you know? But she was like, no, I've been with, like, men, or she basically laid down the line as like, I don't want to be with anyone who identifies as a straight man, basically.
That is something else.
This is something else. So she can
you know what, it sounds like something may have happened to her.
I know, that's what I
and that's why I think it's a sensitive subject.
It is.
When you ask those questions, dark shit starts to come up.
Seriously.
But, you know, I'm no psychologist, so I'm not going to blame things that I don't know shit about. But I think it's interesting that when you're, that's very sensitive. I wish you were just more understanding. Mm-hmm. And this is exactly the people they surround themselves with. And I think there's like a whole culture about just of shitty friends. And what it's like to be a good friend is actually what normal people think is being a shitty friend. So someone who comes up to me and be like, dude, you got a booger on your nose. They go, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
We're not, you asshole.
You're mean.
And he's like, no, you got a fucking booger on your nose, dog. I want my friends to tell me I got a booger on my nose.
Yeah.
Not to compare sexual preferences to boogers on your nose, but...
Right. But I understand what you're saying.
Friendship.
You wanna be told when you're stepping out of line.
Yeah.
You want someone who's going to look out for you, even if it's like an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
And so I see what you're saying, where it's like these people aren't checking each other. They don't want confrontation. You know, they just want to exist and be how they want to be, and not have that challenged in any way.
Yeah, they don't want what they want to be validated by their friends, and being like, yeah, you should do that. Yeah, that's great. Good for you.
Right.
Like girls, they don't have real friends. They come to their friends with stuff, and their friends have to decipher what the right response is. So if they're telling a story like, you know, fuck this guy, they're going to be like, yeah, fuck that guy. They're not going to be like, well, actually, it doesn't like sound very bad.
Yeah.
They're never going to do that. It's always figure out how I can agree with them so we can stay friends.
That's just baffling.
Yes. So there's a culture of that, I've noticed, and there's also a culture of accepting the official story for everything. That drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Like, there's actually people who want to believe fake shit.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So...
It's crazy. I mean, it's everywhere right now.
And I got to give an example, because you can't just say fake shit, because that could be anything where you know, everyone thinks they're right. What idiots. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Sure.
But what I really mean is like when someone challenges something where they're like, you know, the NFL, there's a play that I personally think the guy totally took a dive on. Mm-hmm. And when I see it, it's so fucking fake and obvious that he took a dive. But other people are like, like, they kind of see what you're saying, but they're like, no, I don't see how the NFL could do that. I don't know why they would do that. And it's like, why do you want to?
Yeah.
Why do you want to believe in the official story? It makes no sense. So I just want to give a little bit of clarification because I said that on the last podcast. I felt like it was like me just saying like, wow, what idiots! Everyone thinks they're right.
Right.
Yes, I get it. Everyone thinks they're right about everything, and they have a terrible bias.
That's very true. Another example of that is, remember when back in like 2012, people were like, the government isn't spying on you, okay? Can you just get your paranoid bullshit out of here?
I was thinking about that today. Right? They'll say, I don't have anything to hide. You can spy on me whenever you want.
Right.
Well,
They started saying that after it came out that, the government is actually spying on you.
Yeah.
They are actually. They've got a whole program. It's called the NSA. They've been doing it. Oh, well, they can spy on me all they want. I don't care. I've got nothing to hide.
It's such a joke.
It's like, fucking fuck. And now it's all about...
When Trump's president, though, that's when you should get offended. But when it's Obama passing that shit, everyone's all cool with it.
Right, yeah, it's fine.
Now that someone like Trump has all the control and potential for spying, it's funny, you still don't hear anything about it. They're all focused on what he said about grabbing some girl's pussy.
Tabloids.
They're completely...
Yeah.
They're not focusing on the shit that actually matters. And I think that's the whole point of politics. That's the whole point of all sports. It's all just a complete distraction. That's why it's supported so much. Mm-hmm. And why they're always bickering and trying to start drama between each other.
Yeah. It does seem like a giant distraction. And it's funny. I mean, yeah, everyone's so quick to think that they are right. And no one wants... I mean, I get it. Like, I get it from a basic level of, like, no one wants their entire worldview shooken up on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But it's like to have like a truly open mind, like everyone talks about, I'm really open-minded. It's like, but to have a truly open mind, you have to be ready to like shake your shit up like on a daily basis. You know what I mean? I don't know.
No, totally. That's why I was shook by the flat earth shit when I first started watching it because I was trying to prove it wrong.
Right.
And I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I only got logical fallacies here.
Yeah.
And that's, you got to like reprogram yourself to being okay with your whole understanding of reality just being destroyed.
Right.
And that's happened so many times with me, which is kind of a theme that we've been talking about on this podcast is when you go from, like my brother was, in the super feminist. He was in the anti-rape squad, going to U of O, and now that he's kind of out of that, he realizes the bullshit that was within those groups and maybe how they could have done things better. But like lifting the veil on your beliefs and, trying to be open-minded about everything so you're not... Because you'll be like, dude, something I said last week I probably don't even believe anymore. You know what I mean? I could do a podcast last week and now I completely disagree with what I said. And that's just the way my mind works. And the whole... Oh my God, he flip-flopped on this issue.
Dude.
Flip-flopping is as a bad thing?
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
They changed their mind because they have enough critical thinking to say, fuck it, I believe this one thing, now I'm going to change my mind, bitch.
Dude, thank you. I'm so sick of people, like that term gets thrown around so much. If you change your mind about something, were we not allowed to change our minds about shit? I think that's like a very good thing to do, and do it multiple times. It shows that you're thinking about everything from multiple sides,
Well, it shouldn't be a thing you're necessarily conscious of, but you should challenge everything you believe currently. You should be able to challenge it. That's what it comes down to, because then you can change your mind given decent evidence.
Right.
But yeah,
stay like water,
like Bruce Lee says. Water.
Yeah, water.
No, but this is the ironic thing is they say people who flip-flop are actually dumb,
right?
Because they don't stay thinking the same thing all the time.
Because they don't dig their heels into their argument and defend it like without knowing and considering the other points of view.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah,
that's why people can't come to debates emotional or like fights. People want to always get fights and have big emotional debates.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. Like the whole debate thing does kind of set it up like it's a contest. It's a skill of words, and you're trying to defeat the other person. So there is like a adversarial aspect to it, but I don't know. I think they're fucking fun. I'll take whatever side and just try to argue that.
We'll have to do that next time.
Oh boy.
All right, I'm gonna go get some food.
All right,
we get out of here. Thanks, Benny.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Peace out.